The warmth, right? Radio Raheem here with Joe Gallagher. I know this. You think this means I'm in London, but finally in my backyard here in Texas in Dallas Stadium, you've brought Liam Smith over to face the big man Canelo Alverez. First of all, talk to me about when you found out that this fight was really going to happen. What were your first initial thoughts on how to beat Canelo?
Very much like you win a lottery ticket, jumping around the living room. That's how it is. We've got the lottery ticket, and for Liam Smith, a chance for him to test himself against the big names in world boxing. His name was in the frame before the Canelo Khan fight. His name was in the frame for a Miguel Cotto fight, and then never materialised and became a bit deflated with it. But then once his name was back in the running for Alvarez and all terms were agreed, it was signed on a dotted line, and we can't wait now.
Canelo's one of these fighters that people watch closely. We obviously all saw the Khan fight, another British fighter coming over to face him, and people felt like he got exposed for not having the best boxing ability. Did you agree with that? Is that something that you're going to incorporate into your game plan?
No, not really. I don't really see watching much of the Amir Khan Canelo fight we get anything from. I think if you watch the Canelo versus Miguel Cotto, you see an awful lot of good stuff from Canelo in that fight. Better feet, better hands, and they're the type of fights that we've been watching. Listen, with Saul and at the level that he fights off, you can't please all the people all the time. And same with this fight now. He's getting criticised for taking Liam Smith. There's huge pressure on him for this fight, especially with Triple G winning last weekend, the weight issues. So he's got a lot of pressure to deal with, but listen, we're confident in the work that we've done. We've studied the opponents, and we've got plan A, B and C.
You've already been in the press saying if this guy comes in, Canelo over 154, even a hair, fights off, how concerned are you that might happen?
It was just put to me yesterday at the round table. I'm not really concerned. I think Alvarez and the team, the way that they've spoken about Liam Smith, there's huge respect there. They know it's a serious challenge. They're professionals. They expect them to come in on weight. But sometimes you're in the UK and you see every now and again the odd American fighter failing weight at the scales and then saying to the opposition, well, are you going to fight or whatever, we'll throw you some money. Well, that's not the case here. Liam's coming here, people forgetting he is the world champion. Saul Alvarez is the challenger. There's a contractual weight of £154. If he doesn't make the weight, there'll be no fight. Give us our paycheck, and like I said yesterday, Liam Smith will go off to Vegas and go on a shopping trip.
Now, you mentioned a couple of fights that fell through, and of course Liam Smith is the title holder. People think boxing is regional. A lot of people, like Mexicans, feel like they've got a style, British fighter has a style, and maybe the British fighters are easy pickings because they only fight each other. What are they wrong about? What are they missing in their assessment of Liam Smith?
Well, Liam, I have always called him the Scouse Mexican. I think if you speak to people on the West Coast, Virgil Hunter, Freddie Roach, who have had Liam Smith in the gym sparring against good fighters, they'll tell you that he is a serious threat to Saul Alvarez, and handing him a defeat on Saturday night. Liam Smith, very much from one of the great fighters from this area years ago, reminds me an awful lot like Don Curry, a really good box fighter. Can punch on the inside, pox on the outside, good counter puncher, good body puncher, and that's the best way to summarise Liam Smith's style of boxing.
You're right. Freddie Roach did say that this fight was going to be tougher than people think. Is it possible? Everyone expects him to try to stay away from the power, try to box, do what people think is Canelo's weakness. Is this fight going to be in the middle of the ring, toe-to-toe?
I think so. I feel Saul will be wanting to test Liam's power early. Liam will be wanting to test Saul's power, and whichever way Saul wants to fight, we'll accommodate him with. We're usually confident in which way that we want to fight, whether we're going to counter punch and whether we want to box. But at the same time, I think not many people talk about Saul's speed of hand. He's got very fast hands. I watched the Amir Khan knockout in slow motion and still don't see it. And that's very, very underrated. He's a very good fighter on the back foot, and he walks you onto the shots when he's on the ropes playing possum. So we've covered everything, I hope, and come Saturday night we'll prevail. And like I've said all along, we just want 3 honest men to do the right thing. We've got 2 fighters here, being honest, putting their careers and their lives on the line, and we want 3 judges and the referee to be honest men and go in there, and let's not wake up Sunday morning and have a CJ Ross situation.
And lastly, Joe, when you have a fighter stepping into a spotlight like this in another fighter's backyard, he's the title holder, but everyone's expecting him to lose. Where do you keep his mind? Where do you keep his mentality sharply focused on the goal?
Liam Smith's, I've been around Liam Smith. Sometimes I call it Broadway. Some fighters sometimes can choke on Broadway, some can shine. I think I've got the right kid with the right temperament and with the right tools to do the job Saturday night. I think Liam Smith was one of the most calmest men walking out in that arena, and one of them that stands out, that'll stand there in the arena, in the ring, going, Joe, what? This is what it's all about. This is what I'm here for. Now's my time to shine.
You mentioned the cards and hoping you get a fair decision. Is this the kind of fight where you're going for a knockout and hope that you don't have to leave it to the cards? Is that really the only shot for Liam Smith to get the KO?
No, not at all. I think Liam Smith's boxing skills, I think, has got to cause huge problems. I think it'd be disrespectful to say about knocking out Sal Alvarez. I think we're expecting 12 tough rounds, but I do feel we're most probably going to be similar like Vernon Forrest was to Shane Mosley. It's all about styles, and I think Liam Smith has got to be the style that causes Canelo problems come Saturday night.
Radio Raheem with Joe Gallagher here at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. We'll see you Saturday night in the corner of Liam Smith.
Cheers.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Pleasure to see you on this side of the pond.
Cheers.